Now I feel bad because you're warmed up. I don't want to stop you.
Well, it's all right. I'll find it again.
Okay, good.
I didn't necessarily find it yet, so we're good.
It's always good to see you, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Always. Man.
always.
Thank you
It's
for
been a
having
pleasure.
us.
We got to spend some time together in Nashville in March at CRS, and you put on a show at the Florida Georgia Linehouse. And that you thought this room was tight. You should have been in that room.
Oh,
Man,
buddy.
I think Noah was like your bodyguard coming through.
Yeah, he had me like his dreads were draped over my shoulder.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was insane. How many people have heard of us talk about St. Jude? Okay. This, first of all, thank you for doing this because this is for St. Jude. All of our shows are for St. Jude. We ask everybody, we have a donation thing. It's a QR code. We just ask for a penny. We ask for $1. You know what it's like. Jeff Baker is with us. Jeff, I wanted you to say hello to Brantley. Two great guys, Brantley and Jeff. Jeff is one of our... This is a funny story, and I don't want to take away from anything else, but Jeff is part of the Pipe Hitters Motorcycle Club, and when they did all their stuff for St. Jude this year, when he called me, I was like, oh, it's Jeff. Hey, Jeff, how's it going? I met Jeff for the first time, scared the hell out of me. Because the guys that showed up to answer the phones for St. Jude were Rev, Animal. I was like... Who are these
My
guys?
kind of people.
Right, your people. I'm like, these guys in Brantley are gonna hit it off like brothers, right? So it's cool. So I wanted to invite Jeff because he's representing our St. Jude families today.
Awesome,
so
brother.
Jeff and his team do an amazing job. So thank you, Jeff. We appreciate you. In fact, I wish we could have maybe moved this back a couple weeks because they're doing a huge ride. It's called the St. Jude Cruising for St. Jude Kids.
Oh, nice.
It's a poker ride, and I would have loved to have you get your bike out here and just ride through the Pacific Northwest.
You and me both.
Yeah,
bro.
it would have been amazing. But anyways, today we'll talk more about St. Jude in a little bit, but let's talk to Brantley real quick. I got to know how the collaboration came together between you and Jelly Roll. When did you two meet? Because this is another funny. Literally at CRS, it's called Country Radio Seminar. It's a big room, and they do all these different seminars, right? And they invite all these people to come see these shows. And
This was bad.
This, dude, I think I saw a lady pass out. So this is the funny thing. So how many Jelly Roll fans we have in the house tonight, right? So Brantley comes on to stage and starts singing this song, and I'm a rocker. I love rock. I love country. And I'm like, yeah, I'm banging my hands. I'm banging on the drums, like air drumming the shit out of it. And this guy's looking at me like he's an older gentleman. He's like, calm down, son. You're out of control. All of a sudden, Jelly Roll comes out and is like, what's up, motherfucker? And I was like, oh.
Nailed it. But he prefaced this by saying this is at 11:30 in the morning.
Yes.
Everybody's hungover, including Jelly.
Yeah. And I get goosebumps talking about it because it was so funny because I just looked around the room and I'm like, oh, you people are in trouble tonight. You have no idea. So how did that collaboration come together between the two of you?
Man, so I knew of him for a long time before I knew him, and I knew him in some other circles. But on the music side of things, I was always a fan of his. I liked the stuff he did with Struggle. And that whole underground movement, man, that he was a part of before he kind of broke mainstream. Has always been something that's kind of had my attention because I feel like that's the way we came up.
Yeah.
When we came on the scene, in 2000, I'd say when we came on the mainstream scene, 2007, 8, nobody knew what to do with us. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's a similar situation that he was in when he first started kind of coming over into this genre. And neither one of us can remember exactly how it happened. I do remember the first time we hung out, I showed up at the studio, and there were some dudes, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. There were some dudes standing outside that just had the look, and I was like, okay, me and this dude are going to get along just fine. And I walked in, and I see him, and he's sitting there like a freaking mob boss on the couch, like blowing weed, and I was like, we're going to hit it off.
Yeah.
And then neither one of us had to open our mouth. It was almost like we looked at each other, and we were like, where you been all my life, dude?
That's funny. That's funny.
Like we were two peas in a pod. But the dude is an insanely talented man, and I'll say, for a guy like me, like I said, when we came on the scene, we always said we were uninvited.
Right.
You
were like the outlaw of it all. Right.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's got going on right now, man. And he's doing more than we did with it, obviously.
And I was thinking maybe it was through the rock world with Shine Down because he's doing stuff, with Puddle of Mud, and he's doing all these rocks. And then all of a sudden now you're same thing. You're branching out now. You're doing these. And that Nickelback, how did this all come together?
Well, so we did the Five Finger thing years back before the Shine Down thing happened. It was kind of under the radar. It was a re-release. But we did the Kenny Wayne Shepherd thing with them. And he became the second person. We're like, now we're the two people in the country genre that have had a #1 at rock and country.
Yeah.
So it's like we made the record books together. It's cool. But yeah, he's an awesome guy, man. We sat down. We wrote 2 songs that day. "Son of the Dirty South" was one of them, and I think he's planning on releasing the other one we wrote that day on a solo album. But we're working on an album together right now.
Are you gonna play "Son of the Dirty South" tonight?
At the show?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Phew. Good.
Yeah. It's a workout, buddy, because I got to do his part too.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to
tough.
preface it by telling the rednecks in the crowd, like, look, y'all don't get mad at me. Look, what I'm about to do is not rapping.
Right.
I'm just talking fast. It's the same shit Charlie Daniels did on "The Devil Went Down to Georgia." It's no different. And you can see the hardcores in the crowd go, all right, I can mess with
Yeah,
that.
we can make that work. Is there a tiff between you and Blake Shelton going on? Because I see you guys battling over your tractors, and I'm like, all right, what's going on here?
No, I fucked up. Sorry. So I was seeing these videos. We did this song together, and I was so honored that he did, and humbled by him and Vince both doing the song with me. And we were just trying to find some ways to build up some excitement and get, And I'm seeing these videos of him driving in a Kubota, working his fields at the farm and stuff. And we had just entered into a partnership with C&B, it's like the largest John Deere dealer in the country. So we started a little tractor beef. So I fired a shot. I fired a shot across the bow. I was like, Blake. I did a little selfie video. I was plowing a field, getting ready to plant a food plot. And we thought it was kind of funny because it's like the field that I'm working in is like an eighth of the size of the one that's on his farm.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But we got the same size tractor.
Right.
It's just different.
Bigger's better.
And mine was free, 'cause I don't have Blake Shelton money. So I thought it was kind of funny, it was like, Blake, glad you're out there doing your food plots, but real tractors are green, asshole, or whatever. And then I find out that the reason he was driving a Kubota is his dad sold Kubota tractors. When his dad passed, he bought that.
Oh.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah. So you went from this big to this big. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Mistake.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
It's okay. It's okay.
He just didn't respond, which was even worse.
Right. Now you're like, uh-oh, what did I really do?
I had to call him.
Oh, how funny.
I was like, hey, man, I'm real sorry, but I didn't do my research. I'm not necessarily a frequent flyer on Google or any social media for that. But I don't even have my passwords. I keep them from me.
I got yelled at yesterday at the St. Paul Rodeo. I jumped on a tractor, a combine, and I didn't, because I just wanted a picture on it. And the guy thought I was going to try and take it through the arena to plow the arena. He says, you know how much that tractor is? I said, no. He's like, it's more than 4 of your houses. And I was like,
been like, dog, you don't know me, man. I got a nice.
I said, you know who? I'm friends with Brantley Gilbert. We got a big house and a big tractor.
We'll be talking about my double wide, so we'll fight over that.
I know. Those tractors are expensive.
Yes, they are. I'm glad. That's why I'm so glad that one was free.
Yeah, you save yourself a lot of money. All right, I'm going to ask you one more question because I want this day to be about you and the kids at St. Jude because they're all watching on the stream and on our Facebook Live and stuff. So I want this to be about you.
Really, bro?
Did I forget to tell them that?
Absolutely. We're 4 F-bombs in between the both of us.
It's all subtitles. Don't worry.
She went from having shades on to shades and earplugs.
Oh, all right.
Come on,
I know.
bro.
So if you weren't doing this, entertaining crowds like this and getting the vibe with everybody, what would you be doing? Because I have it on video that I love this about you, and I can't play it because I'll try and find it. It takes too many pictures. I saw you out on the ranch like hunting a gator.
Yeah.
So, like, if you weren't doing this, do you think you might join Troy from Swamp People and go out and shoot gators?
If I wasn't doing this, I'd probably be sitting at St. Jude apologizing to a bunch of kids for cussing at them. And they probably got, you know what, they were probably having technical issues at St. Jude, and they got it to pop up right at the minute where you said Jelly Roll said, "What's up, motherfucker?" Little kids are like, "What?"
Danny and Brantley are not allowed back in St. Jude.
We're banned from the hospital. No, for any of you that are watching, if I wasn't doing this, yes, so the story behind the Gator, he was asking for it.
Of course.
I bought this farm near my hometown. We don't have gators there. And there was like this rumor that there was an alligator on this place. This gangster built it. It's a long story. Like there's some weird stuff going on there. My wife's almost terrified of the place. It's like, pretty sure there's people buried there.
Maybe.
But I explained it to her. It's like, look, if there's somebody buried here, it's not like it's somebody's youth pastor. It's a gangster.
Right.
Nobody's looking for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's fine. They're not going to hurt you. They're going. You know, but she don't really operate with the biker mentality, so she's, you know. Anyway, so, but if I wasn't doing this, man, I don't know if I'd be making a habit out of shooting the gators. Because the night before we killed him, he had me dead to rights.
Oh.
We were out baiting one of the bait stations. We had a trail cam on it, and I looked out, and we were watching. It was like 1 a.m, and we were just trying to get some different angle camera pictures of him before we, you know, checked him off the list. And here's the thing. I probably would have left him alone, but we thought he was about 10 foot, and I've got a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and this dude was not scared of humans. Like, you could tell he probably, you know, had a couple for lunch.
Right. He grabbed a toe or two.
Yeah, he's ate a human before, I promise you. He'd, like, float to the surface and lick his lips. I didn't even know they had tongues.
That's scary.
I'm obviously lying about that. But no, so I looked out over the rest of the pond, and it was glass. And I looked right in front of us, and there were like little ripples in the water. So I hit my flashlight up, and buddy, he was from me to you.
Oh.
And it was like, if he wanted us, he just wasn't hungry, because
Right.
we fed
got
him
you.
more chicken and anchovies than I ever want to see in my life ever again. Because the game warden told us, hey, we'll relocate him unless you can prove to us that he's like a danger to... He's a menace to society, basically.
Right.
I was like, all right, we'll frame him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're taking chicken out there morning, night. Every time he gets the chicken off the hook, we're right back to the farm at 4 a.m. Like, come on, Bubba. So when the game warden showed up that day, I literally walked out on the dam and clapped twice and held up a piece of chicken. And no joke, 5 seconds later, that joker just popped up right in front of us.
Wow.
He was, so after we killed him, we realized he was over 70 years old. He was 11 foot 9 inches long.
Holy cow.
And over 750 pounds.
Did you make some boots?
Oh, I made a whole body mount.
I was going to say, man.
Yeah. It's freaky. People go in there. You know, if somebody were to come in my house and try to steal us, they'd think twice.
Right.
One, because there's a big AR on the front of the thing that says, we do not dial 911. And then you open the door and there's a 12-foot gator looking at you.
You don't call 911, you call 811 first. You know why?
Why is somebody told me this joke yesterday. I forgot it.
You got to call, find out where to dig.
What does 811 do?
You have to call 811 to make sure you're not digging with an excavator to get like cable lines or water lines or this. So you call 811 first before you call 911 so you know where to dig to bury the body.
Oh, that's genius. We don't need that at the farm. We'll just go on one of the pre-dug
And you
graves
got an
and take
excavator,
that
so
out
you're good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there were like 6 graves dug that are just kind of sitting there. I mean, sitting
right.
on go.
Oh my gosh.
These
Enough.
kids are like, man, I'm not coming back. Brother,
Buddy, it's always so good to see you.
good to see you too. Come back up.
Look
over the
at
next
those.
song.
Look at he needs like suns out, guns out today, man. Look at that.
Look.
That's we the people. It's a beautiful thing, brother.
Thank you, brother.
I'm gonna shut up. Brantley Gilbert, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank y'all.